have you ever stopped to wonder why some things just feel scary? You know, that deep gut feeling? Well, today we're going to deconstruct that feeling. We're going to dive right into the architecture of fear.
Okay, let's just start with a quick experiment. I want you to listen to this. It feels off, right? Almost like it's scratching an itch inside your brain. It's a sound that seems to just bypass your ears and poke directly at your nerves. But why? What is it about a simple sound that can trigger our most primal ancient response?
Yeah, that unsettling sound, it actually has a name, the devil's tritone. For centuries, composers have known about this and have deliberately used this exact musical interval to make audiences feel physically uncomfortable. You've definitely heard it, maybe in the theme for The Twilight Zone or in that iconic opening of Jimi Hendrix's Purple Haze. It's a calculated tool, and it's designed to tap into something really, really old inside all of us.
So to understand why a sound can have such a real physical effect, we've got to look at the unique wiring in our brains. It turns out sound has a special direct line, a VIP pass straight to our fear center.
And here's where it gets really interesting. Our brains process threats from our eyes and our ears very differently. When you see something, that visual info gets a chance to be filtered by your rational mind. You see a potential threat, and you have a split second to go, okay, is that really dangerous? But sound takes a shortcut. It has a specific neural pathway that zips right from our ears to our brain's alarm system. It doesn't wait for permission. It just goes. And the results of that sound hijacking our system, you feel it on your skin. You get goosebumps. The fancy term for this is the piloerection reflex. It's this ancient, leftover response to a threat you can't see. Your body is instinctively trying to make your hair stand on end, to look bigger, more intimidating, all because of a simple sound wave. Wild, right?
So when that fear signal bypasses our logical brain, where exactly is it going? Well, it's headed straight for a part of the brain that comes pre-programmed with a list of things to avoid no matter what. So, meet the amygdala. You've actually got two of them, a pair of these little almond-shaped clusters deep in your brain. And these guys, they are the command centers for your emotional responses, and they're the undisputed champions of fear. There's this fantastic metaphor that describes what the amygdala does, and it's perfect. It's like a meaty little spider constantly spinning a web of fear inside your mind. It's just sitting there, always on the lookout for vibrations, for anything that signals danger. And here is the crucial part. That web isn't empty when we're born. Oh no, it comes pre-stocked with what experts call innate aversions. Basically, a foundational list of things we are biologically hardwired to stay away from if we want to survive. Now, this isn't just some vague concept. Experts have actually identified a core number of these universal built-in fears, and that number is 8. And here they are: pain, isolation, the unknown or abnormal, disease, sudden movement, suffocation, falling, and incapacitation. These 8 fears are like the main support beams for our entire web of fear. And think back to that devil's tritone we heard earlier. Why does it bug us so much? Because it clashes so harshly with what we expect from music that it triggers our innate aversion to the abnormal. Our internal spider immediately feels that vibration and starts connecting that sound to potential danger. But here's the thing. That web, it isn't static. Not at all. It's constantly growing, constantly being updated. Those 8 innate aversions, they're just the starting point. This web grows through a process called fear conditioning. It works kind of like this. Imagine you see a simple perpy square. At first, it's just a shape. It means nothing to you. That's step 1, the neutral stimulus. Now, in step 2, every time you see that square, you get a little harmless electric shock. Ouch! By step 3, your brain has made the connection. Now, the purple square itself, with no shock at all, is enough to trigger a fear response. Through this process, our brains can literally learn to fear almost anything. And what's even more fascinating is that we don't even have to experience the danger ourselves to learn the fear. We can learn it socially. If you just watch someone else get totally terrified by that purple square, your own brain will start to associate it with danger. It's like we can catch fear. We're constantly updating our internal threat database based on how others react, what stories we hear, everything. Okay, so now that we understand the basic architecture of fear, we can start to see how it can be deliberately hacked. And this is exactly what masterful storytellers, especially in the world of horror, do for a living. They use this brilliant technique called category jamming. This is where you take different innate fears and you just mash them together to create something uniquely, monstrously disturbing. You're basically creating a super stimulus for fear. For example, just think of the facehugger from the movie Alien. It's this disgusting mashup of a spider, which triggers our fear of the abnormal and disease, and a snake, which adds incapacitation and suffocation to the mix. By jamming these innate aversions together, it guarantees your little amygdala spider gets pinged from every possible direction at once. It is a nightmare by design.
So, after all this, the big question is still there. Why do we have this complex, elegant, and, let's be honest, terrifying system built into us? What is the whole point of fear?
At the very, very center of that web, every single strand of fear, whether it's one we're born with or one we've learned, it all leads back to one single point: death. Fear is just the anticipation of those innate aversions, and its entire evolutionary purpose is to help us survive long enough to experience something else.
And this leads to a really profound idea. You're not just this solid thing walking around. You're a ripple ghost. Think about that for a second. You are the result, the diffused domino effect of every single fear that every single one of your ancestors successfully survived. Your fears, they're an inheritance. So let's bring this all together. We have this ancient, intricate architecture of fear inside us, a system that's designed to keep us safe, but is also capable of making us feel deeply unsettled by something as simple as a sound. So what does it all mean? Well, maybe it means that this complex system isn't just about survival. Maybe it's also a tool for experience. By engaging with our fears in a safe way, by listening to that dissonant chord or watching that scary movie, we're not just triggering an old alarm system. We're testing its boundaries, we're exploring its depths, and in doing so, we're reminding ourselves that we are here. Sometimes feeling a little unsettled is the absolute best way to feel truly alive.